Hey, Penn State Delta Chi and friends, John Algio here, just stopping in again for a quick minute just to talk to you a little bit about what's going on. First of all, let me start and say that I'm a little bit disappointed with the responses I was getting from the previous video that I put on where I asked who is the most famous person that you know from Penn State, Delta Chi. And I got a lot of the most famous Delta Chi that people know is Kevin Costner. Well, the vast majority of you know of Kevin Costner, Leonard Mann, but you do not know who Kevin Costner is. You don't know him. Kirk Petruccelli might know Kevin Costner. The rest of us probably don't. If you do, hey, good luck to you. Tell me he was freaking amazing in Yellowstone. I thought that was a great series, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to try this again. And who is the most famous Penn State Delta Chi that you know? So think about that. Put the comments. Put your answer in the comments, and let me know what you think. We'll share that with everybody else. I also got some input from another one of the brothers, Mattress, Matt Rolls, who said made a recommendation which I thought was pretty cool. In the comments, put your nickname that you had when you were at Penn State Delta Chi. What is the nickname that you were given, and who gave you that nickname? Like, for example, Matt Rolls, his nickname was Mattress, and he was given that name by Tony Lucas, who was also a member of our pledge class. My nickname, the Algerian Wonder, that came from Paul Alexander. It came from Poe while we were on our bolt up to Cornell University. I don't know, do they still bolt anymore? That was a hell of a weekend. But I don't know if any of you can remember, those of you who were on the bolt, but can anybody remember the name of the drink and the drink that I was drinking the entire time we were at the Delta Chi at Cornell? You know, that was before I got run over by the car when somebody was trying to reach into the car where the girls were there, but that's neither here nor there. But what was the name of the drink and what was in the drink that I was drinking when we were in Cornell? Probably don't remember. I'll clue you back in on that on the next episode. Why are we here today? Today is January 8th, 2025, which means tomorrow is January 9th, 2025. Is that an important day? I think it is, because January 9th, 2025, there is a football game that is going to be taking place down in Miami in the Orange Bowl. It is Penn State against Notre Dame. Now, I watched Penn State game, and I watched Penn State beat up Boise State pretty good, and they looked pretty good. Their defense looked fantastic, stopping Ashton Jeanty, who is one of the best college football running backs that we've seen in a long, long time, but we shut him down. Defense was solid. Drew Aller looked good. The dual running game looked great. K-Train and Singleton looked fantastic. So hopefully we're going to be able to keep that up against Notre Dame. Hopefully the defense is going to be able to step up and play a great game as well, because Notre Dame is pretty creative on offense. If you watch their game against Georgia, they look pretty good too. So this is going to be, it ain't going to be a walk, but it's going to be a really good football game. My prediction coming up in a little bit. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about, going to these games. Have any of you ever been to a major bowl game? I'm sure some of you were at the last game in the Fiesta Bowl. I'm going to mention that again in a second. But the closer we get to these major bowl games, the closer we get to the national championship, the more important the games are. Now, I myself have been to a national championship game. Back in 1987, I went to the Fiesta Bowl where Penn State beat Miami. We picked the ball off 5 times. Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback for Miami. We had 5 interceptions. And my cousin Tommy and I were there. We're staying at the Embassy Suites there in Tempe, Arizona. And we were sitting about 15, 20 rows off the field, about the 20-yard line, right in front of where Pete Giftopoulos picked off that final interception. Now, I'm telling you, if you have never been to a major bowl game, if you've never been to a national championship game especially, you got to go. They don't happen all that often, so when the opportunity arises, take full advantage of it, because trust me, it's worth it. Now stand by for just 1 second, because I just want to share a memory with you.
He's playing, and also Shane Carlin playing in the same defense.
3rd down and 8.
Here comes Conlon again.
There's a blitz on, but Testaverde's got all day long. He fires on the run, and it is intercepted by Cobb. Cobb to the 20, seeking blockers. 25, cuts upfield to the 30-yard line.
That's one.
Vinny Testaverde, who was intercepted only 9 times all year long, is... Pass is intercepted. And falling down is Shane Conlon.
Now, Shane Conlon had a hell of a game. He had a hell of a year that year. His senior year, he's an All-American. He's freaking fantastic. He was out at the house a few times while he was at school up there, and he enjoyed himself as far as I can remember every time that he was there. But you know what? Watching him excel the way he did in that national championship game was phenomenal. Now, a lot of you may not know this, and I heard the stories. I don't know it because I wasn't there, obviously. But the rumor is Shane got himself in a little bit of trouble the night before. Arizona State, or the Fiesta Bowl, Shane got himself in a little bit of trouble the night before. The Fiesta Bowl sponsors a dinner for both teams who come to play in the bowl game. Now, when they got off the airplane, Miami got off in their Army fatigues, and Penn State got off in their sport coats and ties because they were classy as always. That's just the way we do things at Penn State. And because Miami was there to be at war. Penn State was there, as a team. They were there to work together. Well, at the dinner that the Fiesta Bowl threw before the game, apparently one of the Miami players, I don't remember who it was, stood up and said something along the lines of, well, the Japanese did not eat dinner with the Americans before they bombed Pearl Harbor. Okay, well, Shane Conlon stood up in the middle of that dinner and said, yeah, and the Japanese lost. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I do know that Shane Conlon did not start that game the next day because Joe Paterno basically told him and the rest of the team that you will act with class or you will pay consequences. Now, granted, Shane did play most of the game, which is fantastic, but he did not start in that national championship game because, he went out of character for a Penn State player. But thank God he did play, because keep watching.
All set to begin the 4th quarter. 1st and 10, Miami. Testaverde, drop back pass is intercepted by Penn State. Giftopoulos with blockers. He's to the 40. Cuts inside. Pete Giftopoulos ran out of bounds deep in Miami territory. Pete Giftopoulos. It's almost as if the Penn State defense will have to score. Testaverde, little floater in the middle, is intercepted. Conlon, Shane Conlon, the 25, 20, 15. He's down to the 5-yard line.
And as I said before, that's why he's an All-American. That brilliant pass defense, brilliant coverage. You'll see that type of defense they've been setting up for and setting up with before. And Conlon goes to different places. Vinny Testaverde is totally confused. And that's why, as I just said a moment ago, Miami did not want to throw the football.
Great job. And now it is 1st and goal from the 9.
And they better be careful of Highsmith right up the middle or Highsmith with a sweep. But they're showing spread formation. Will Penn State take a chance with a blitz?
Short drop, Testaverde fires, and it is caught down to the 5-yard line. The pass complete to Irvin Henderson, makes the tackle.
Now this is where Tommy and I were sitting. We were about the 20-yard line, about 15 rows off the field on the short side.
The football at the 6-yard line. I'm not so sure the Penn State defense shouldn't call timeout. Testaverde, he's hit, and he's sacked back at the 13-yard line. Tim Johnson with the sack. Now Miami will call a timeout on 3rd and goal from the 13-yard line. 3rd down and goal from the 13-yard line. 25 seconds to play in the season. The national championship is on the line. Testaverde to throw. Time. Now he's rushed. He fires in the flat, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Williams. The pass was low. And now it will come down to one play. 18 seconds remaining. The time is no longer significant. It is 4th and goal.
Penn State all year long has been in these situations and have been fortunate enough to be able to hold on. They got to do it one more time for one more play for a national championship. You can't get it any closer than this.
Everything, and I mean everything, is on the line.
And you know he has to throw.
4th and goal from the 13. Testaverde throws. It is intercepted. It is intercepted. Pete Giftopoulos is second of the game, and Penn State will win the national championship.
Now, how freaking amazing is that? I mean, it gives me chills watching it to this day. It's just absolutely phenomenal. If you ever have a chance to go to a national championship game, you got to do it. You absolutely have to do it. Which brings me to my point, my next point. Now, I saw a post that Jimmy Bennett put on the Delta Chi and Friends Facebook page. And he is willing to get a block of rooms at the, I believe it was the Georgian Terrace Hotel in downtown Atlanta, if Penn State wins this game tomorrow night. Now, I'm telling you right now, if they win and he gets that block of rooms, y'all got to get down there. I know several of us live down here in the area now, but Jimmy Bennett, myself, Hugh Roth, Deemer, there's several of us who are down here, and probably more that I don't even know about yet. But if you're down here, let us know. We got to get together. I'm about 30 minutes south of Atlanta in Fayetteville, Georgia. But, hey, it's a quick ride. And, hey, I might even have a room available if you can't find a room in the block of hotels. So let's go ahead and figure this out. But let's get together. Let's make this happen and root Penn State on. Let's show this Notre Dame team, the Fighting Irish, that, we ain't joking around at Penn State. We're the real deal. Go State. We are. Talk to y'all soon. My prediction is Penn State over Notre Dame. Definitely. I think it's going to be about 27-17. And my prediction for the other game, I'm not sure of the score, but I think it's going to be Ohio State against Penn State, because Ohio State is going to beat Texas. Imagine that. James Franklin is going to have an opportunity to redeem himself big time and finally win a big game, a signature game against Ohio State. It's about time, don't you think? What a better place to do it. See y'all in Atlanta.